Zambia Decides 2026. 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 Zambia Decides 2026.
Or if they were just thugs. I hear that one of them has been shot and the other one killed. So worried. It's not like Patrick not to communicate for this long. He hasn't been home and the phone was just ringing. He hasn't been answering. I don't know his whereabouts. I don't know if he's okay. I just don't know anything. I'm blank. And I think at this point I can just appeal to the public If anyone has any information about Patrick's whereabouts, to just let us know. Thank you so much.
Everything has been straightforward. Support the fancy. Everything has been straightforward. Support the fancy. Everything has been straightforward. Support the fancy.
Good day, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us. We just had to shut down the other earlier broadcast. It had been running with, ECZ updates, civil society updates, and many things. The algorithms, when you go to Facebook, you will see earlier things, and you may not see that we are live. So kindly do us a favor, quickly share the broadcast. We have updates. We want to give you updates on the military raid that was done on Honorable Brian Mundiwile's private residence in Kablonga. We have an update on the fears around former Minister of Transport and Communications, Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya, and former Lunte MP, very wonderful parliamentarian and the bodyguard to Banda and others. Many people have questions. Where is Bishop Trevor Mwamba, who was in the entourage? Where is this? Where is this? There are so many questions around this matter, and we want you to join us as we give the updates. We have the military invasions of tottling centers. Literally now the pattern has been established across the countries. First they started with thugs, like the video we are showing you. And our appeal to you, when you have information, just turn your phone landscape, run a quick video for us, and then we'll be able to show it. It's more credible than just you alarming us. No, why is Akuno? They've taken over this military, they've taken over this tottling center. Watu Tamfia, take a video, a short video, narrate, and let's see the images. And it's more credible than all these calls you are giving us. Please see what you can do. We've seen the military invasions of tottling centers in Chingola, Chilawombwe, in Lusaka yesterday, and many other places. And some thugs are still attacking and trying to denigrate the electoral process, especially where the opposition have won. And when you are seeing these results from ECZ, the relations, come on, appears like rigging at an industrial scale. We want to comment on that and other matters relating to the updates that have been done by ECZ so far. We have civil society groupings that have expressed serious concerns around the electoral process, the cancellation yesterday, the restart, the invasion of by party cadres and the military on these in the electoral process. And we had a powerful update from the African Union combined with COMESA as an observer mission. We had the EU observer mission, SADC, AISA, and others. They all gave an update, and it's giving a very gloomy picture of this electoral process. We'll find time to run those two videos from civil society and from the observer missions that are in Zambia. So kindly share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. I've got with me my special guest. And I'd like to announce that we're going to have a special program with Dr. Sishua at 20 hours, where we reflect the entire process from Bill 7, from earlier from 2021, banning of political parties, their players Dr. Sishua will be on this platform at 20 hours and we'll discuss in detail up to where we are today. He's been a respected commentator on Zambian affairs. We've watched him on BBC, on Reuters, on Al Jazeera, on Deutsche Welle, on CNN, everywhere. He'll be here at 20 hours. We do a complete summary of what has happened in the last 5 years. And let me bring my guest. PS, mwashudani wa PS. Yes, Akuna Kulala is a marathon and a marathon broadcast, but I hope you took some time to rest.
Yes, I took some time to rest and following up. I missed a few updates, especially on the EU, the African Observer Mission. I didn't see those, but I had the chance to partly see what the civil society presser was. And then outside that, I saw what the questions were with the Electoral Commission and the certain things that they talked about. Of particular importance and I picked on one thing from the Electoral Commission. And this is causing a problem, but they're not addressing it. One, they talked about information flow. And here, when we said that President Mundubile has been attacked, and Honorable Kapa has been attacked, and the people are missing. What is strange, and this is where I think misinformation needs to be done correctly if it is there. Immediately, Pastor Nevas Mumba jumps on it. Immediately. The next person talking about it is Tabo Kawan. And he's picked a camera and going to the police stations, mocking people. The next person that we see now is the UPND, obviously media director and others, jumping on it. There is so much misinformation that is being created from the same group of people. This one talks this. Those are not even being talked about. I really felt bad for Pastor Nevas Mumba. Because the first thing that I thought he should have done is pick up a phone call, find out, call the family, call Tasila, or find out from somewhere, where is this correct? Rather than when you say there is absolutely nothing of this thing happening, and then people end up showing the videos of the actual crimes that are being caught in action. The militarization of polling stations is getting out of hand. You can't have the military infrastructure. The first thing is they send out, before the military, cadres will show up. Is it by coincidence that cadres show up, they beat up people, cause commotion, the police try to react, they are overpowered, and then bring the military? Why are we not having people that are committing these crimes being arrested? What we are seeing is anyone who wants to react to the attack, ultimately, they end up getting arrested, they end up getting bundled into the police, and then, the whole thing now is blown out. These guys are violent. This is what they've been. Please, you know where the violence is coming from.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We will have, of course, PS Chanda Kazia is with me here, and we'll be sharing the updates. We'll be inviting Brodna Changala, civil society leader, renowned civil society that is on the ground, and he'll give us an update from his reflections on this. Then we are going to have Dr. Sishua at 20 hours. You know him. And we're going to have a detailed reflection of the last 5 years to where we are now. So the major topics we are talking about, and what I'll give you an update on, is a military raid on Honorable Brian Mundubile. we are going to give you an update. The fears we have around Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya and Banda, the bodyguard. We'll give you an update on this military invasion of totaling centers across the country. Then you see these ECZ results. How credible are they? How credible can such results be? Many candidates kept on calling me quietly. Now they've chased away our agents. Now they've removed us. I said, take a video, you show it to us, because you are going to see the results. While you were leading, the results will be overturned. Because what happens when the military have invaded those totaling centers and the outcome? You are not present. And how credible then are the results by ECZ? So we'll be tackling those three key issues. PS, give your reflections before I come and give the hard news on these three matters. Let me look for Brebna Changala.
Okay. Thank you, Ambassador. I should say that the militarization of polling centers where you take out cadres. First of all, the cadres show up. I don't know from where and who is sending them. And then the next thing, they cause mayhem. They displace the police. The police are sent away. Then we see a grand scheme of the military moving in. Now, when the military move in, they chase the observers. They chase everybody, and then they remain and say, "Okay, now we're going to do the verification." I don't think it is right that you test out the participants, the stakeholders, and then you remain and then you produce results that are going to be deemed credible. There will be questions around that credibility of such results that you're going to give. The credibility again of information. How are we getting the information from ECZ? There are a lot of stakeholders that are giving information and they're not being called out for what they're doing. If people come to you as ECZ and complain about being attacked within the framework of the electoral process, you must be able to have answers for them. Right now, we have seen the voter turnout. It looks good in certain areas, and the numbers are really speaking something very fishy. Yesterday, when people were going around doing voter, not the other day, I beg your pardon, the other day when we were voting, when we saw people going around to check the voter turnout, the turnout was not anything that we saw in 2021. The turnout was slightly different. I've not seen any lines like we used to do to see them. The next thing we are seeing these results. The results where you are in the deep. I have been in some of those areas where you only find 10 spoiled ballots, and the rest are zeros for everybody. People that had gone into those systems. So people will question that, and it's part of the electoral process that people would question some of these outcomes and the numbers that have been thrown at them. For me, the biggest one is stopping electoral violence. You can't have cadres even at this late of the time, when the last weeks before elections, during elections, people have been talking about disruptions. Disruptions, I don't know if they are staged, they are planned, that there must be such disruptions. Why are we allowing criminals? Look at this. When it comes to speaking about the law, who has the mandate? We are very quick to assign the mandate to say, the only institution that has the mandate to announce the results is the Electoral Commission of Zambia. We are very good to talk about the only group that has a mandate to enforce the law is the Zambia police. Civil law in that matter. Civilians, the people that are supposed to deal with civilians when there is an upfront which doesn't threaten national security, is the police. If the police are overpowered and probably they become riotous, then the military is brought in at that point in time. Now, we see the military take over the policing matters. Now, where is the mandate for the police? And what happens? What should people do if people are going to move in and attack them? We can't have the police stand aloof when people are being attacked. People will defend themselves, irrespective of what the law provides for. So before people start taking the law into their own hands, which we are all talking about, let's report to the police, and the police are watching you getting butchered. It is not right. The politics of getting, butchering each other must be really behind us. What have we learned over the years? If we're going to multiply the violence in the manner that is being done, how do you raid the house or wherever this person who is a leading opposition leader, pick him up, brand him up, and then make fun of him? Make fun of him. They are making fun of the situation where they say, oh, wait a minute, I would pick out my government car, get in it, go and start looking for places where I know there is no detention, and say, oh, it's a hoax. What happens when you find that you are wrong? What should happen to such a civil servant? What should happen to a person like Vanevas Mumba, who goes and says, oh, it's a hoax, nothing like this happens, when you find out that it actually happened? How should people treat you? We must reject this violence. We must also reject vote manipulation. If we allow, in one instance of vote manipulation, we would have killed our democracy. Some of the people that I've engaged with, away from the main towns and the rural parts of Zambia, they will tell you to say they know how they voted. And if they are manipulated, one of the things that it will cause a very serious voter apathy in the coming years. Because what is it that if you vote, someone changes your vote and they're proudly looking at you? You wake up at 3 in the morning, you go and vote, then someone changes it. And all this process should have been dealt with. Colleagues, think about it. In the modern 21st century, we are having probably 5 million votes. We take 5 days or 2 days to count 5 million votes, for example, 5 million. And we have how many people are counting those 5 million votes? How many people are verifying those 5 million votes? We know the ratios. At most, at a polling station, you find 900, voters. At most, maybe 1,000. Surely, we should take 2-3 days to count 5 million votes. What if when we have a 10 million voter turnout, are those elections ever going to be counted? We know these systems have improved. And this is what is causing agitation to people, because people know that at a polling station, even according to ECZ, I don't know what has changed. ECZ, you were very instructive. Director Kasaro, you were very instructive about the process. And for me, I love the way you explained it. Everything's at the polling station. Now, imagine there are 1,000 polling stations, which means we have 1,000 Gen 20s. 1,000. And those have been signed at polling station. And those, it will take us 6 hours. 6. Surely, even within Lusaka, we have to struggle to verify the results. We have to struggle to know who voted. The numbers, what are we trying to verify? And that is where the problem is. The advent of Imingalato. And Imingalato, Tashawama, it agitates people. We are killing our own democracy right before our eyes. And as Zambians, we must say no to such kind of people, because the effects of what we are doing is like you burn a piece of paper and it becomes ashes. You will never take it back into paper, because the people that are being used afterwards, after all this is done, maybe we say we give ourselves 3, 4, 5 days from now. What will be of you if the only thing you're doing was beating up people and disturbing the electoral process when it is not there? Think about your life. Think about the people. When you have sworn to defend the Constitution, not an individual. There is no politician that is worth dying for. There is no politician. But again, if a politician has made an impact and people want him, there should be no one who must stand in the way. And the military, police, and everyone, we must move in and say, this is our democracy. How do you wake up and just go and say, oh, it is an order to beat an innocent person? And when you know that this person is innocent, you know that President Munduviri has his constitutional right to take part in an election. If there is criminal intent or criminal, investigate it and take it in the normal process that we investigate, we call out, we arrest. But abductions cannot be part of the process. And especially when we start to bring in the aspects of military. I beg that the military please stand down and leave this civilian policing to the police. Let's work on the capacity of the police to actually do their work. But to go and start settling these totaling centers, and then the results, you will see a lot of petitions, a lot of people not accepting what is coming out because the process is unnecessarily being delayed. The process is not getting transparent by the removal of certain key stakeholders. And then the rate at which the results are being processed is also another thing. People have all this information, they have it, they're just waiting for ECZ to do it. But then ECZ is taking very, very snail's pace. It's a snail's pace that is being done. So we call upon, personally, my appeal is that, first of all, the military, stand down. It is not right to be used to police and do all that thing. Let the police do their part. Bring in the stakeholders. If there is a problem, bring the stakeholders to a place where you sit down and resolve. The level of how we are, the derogatory insults, it's like we are not the same Zambians. Vamwamba, it is disheartening.
Thank you, PS. Let's just arrange. I've got Brett now is looking for email, and thank you for standing in. We also all have Dr. Brian Sampa joining us. Let me just quickly put Brebna Changala on. Honorable Changala, good day, sir.
It's good evening here.
Yes, good evening indeed. We are running a program here. I'm going to give an update, I haven't given it yet, on the military raid that was done on Honorable Brian Munduviri's private residence yesterday. We have fears around Honorable Mtoto Kafwaya. I'll be giving an update there. Then we have these military invasions of totaling centers by both cadres and the police. And I'll be giving an update there. And you are the one on the ground. In your discussion, if you have any information relating to the three main subjects I'm talking about, you can help us. You are on, Brebna.
Yes, it's good evening in Zambia. I think it's 1831. This election that we have experienced is an election like not any other. And this we predicted a long time that we shall have the challenge, because psychologically we were prepared through the utterances by our president. Any election should be transparent, and any ballot cast must be accounted for, because leadership or indeed political power is with the people. It's the people that chooses their legitimate leadership. No wonder he said leadership is chosen by God, because people represent our Creator. What we are seeing is quite extraordinary. Not too long ago, 1 year or 2 years ago, we were told there was no opposition. That's the starting point. And hardly 3 months or so, Mundwire and Makebi paired together. And the day they did it, exclamation and acceptance went like electric and wildfire. That set in serious problems by the UPND and its leadership. People who were not campaigning because they wanted to be singularly on the ballot, they went full throttle to campaign. And they did not only campaign, they embarked on character assassination because they didn't have a message. The 2 boys have been called all sorts of names, including that of Pompwe and criminals. Fast forward, we cast our votes on the 13th, which is just the other day. And the turnout was huge. And long before we could settle, we started seeing military boots on our streets. In all elections, we are used to state police. And many people realized there was something that the leadership in government was seeing that we didn't see. And period to that, we had experienced a couple of abductions and detentions, and we have got a couple of people in police cells. We don't know the reasoning. Probably one day they will tell us. It is also against their basic human rights to be held incommunicado for such a long time. But let's speak to the election itself. The military was brought on the streets. That is basically to intimidate the voter. In a genuine, fair competition in which the opposition for the last 5 years has never been allowed to campaign, mobilize, or indeed sell their ideas and manifestos. This was an opportunity for the Zambian people to gauge the performance of this regime, whether it has delivered on their promises in 2021, and compare it with the new promises that are coming from the Mundubile-led movement. But something could show in the air that we are not sitting pretty, because soldiers are not trained for crowd control. They are trained to defend and protect our sovereign boundaries of this state called Zambia or the Republic of Zambia. The police are trained to interact and maintain law and order, and they have a procedure in which they handle public discourse, differences, challenges. The military are not trained for that. Military works on word of command. And it's not surprising that listening to Munduvire, first the word went around that Munduvire was missing. And later on, he appeared on your show, which took the entire country by surprise. And on that show, he made a couple of revelations that he was indeed abducted or arrested by the army and was taken to force headquarters and so on. You have the record. But why I'm saying this is surprisingly that after that revelation, serious revelations, the state police, or indeed this government, has not approached Honorable Munduvire so that they listen more from him and understand as to why he was picked with all his colleagues. Now, what is even more interesting is that most of the people that he was picked with are missing. And those we are told are in hospital like Kafwaya. Tabokawana has gone on camera to say we don't have such an individual in our hospital. We don't have such an individual. Then we are told there are some people like Patrick Mwansa, the husband to Tasila, who is at police, Central Police. Again, you can't believe this, that such a huge happening where a leading competitor in a general election was abducted and the government is silent. The president of the Republic of Zambia, who sought to uphold and protect the constitution, is silent. Nobody is shedding more light to create their own story or understanding, or to bring this gentleman to explain further. But they have let him be wherever he is. And the announcement of elections has gone as if nothing has happened. Indeed, this country is going through a very difficult period. We are at war with ourselves. We set the army amongst ourselves. And one would want to understand what is really going on. Again, it's the government to set the record straight and explain to the people of Zambia. The army you are seeing in your midst, do not fear. They are there to protect you. And to just unleash boots on the ground and you stay without explanation, just to send a signal to intimidate, is not good leadership. These elections, after all is said and done, has made many revelations which many people would have thought were just mere accusations, mere politicking. Because the entire country for the last 4 years has been boxed in a corner of silence. People are arrested for speaking out and charged with hate speech. People are arrested when they speak and charged with sedition. All in the idea to make people not complain when they are not happy. And yet that is the core value of democracy, is for people to tell the leadership what they want and what they don't want. You cannot run a country by bulldozing your own personal agenda. No, it doesn't work like that. Neither can you run a country of silent men and women, and only you is allowed to speak. This is an election we find ourselves in. The legitimacy of our military, or the army in particular, is now brought into disrepute, because one wonders, is this the core calling of our men and women in uniform to come to our streets and make us feel uncomfortable? These are serious questions which must be answered. Thank you very much.
Before you go, the concerns around what has been happening at polling stations, thugs invading the polling stations, and now we saw a pattern emerging yesterday where the military are involved and they've been taking over totaling centers in Chingola, Chilabombo, Ndola, Lusaka yesterday, and many parts. What are you hearing about this? It's good that the main observer missions that are in the country also alluded to this and expressed alarm. Just speak to that briefly before we let you go.
Yeah, first, in my talk to you, I've said one thing. When the boots were brought on our states, there should have been a major announcement of assurance from the government to make us feel comfortable and to live amongst them, because they have the information which we don't have. In any battle, in any combat battle, there is what they call rules of engagement. When these people were brought on the street, they were briefed somewhere, and there are rules of engagement. Now, those rules of engagement, are they there for them to actively participate in the conduct of this election? Are they supposed to even touch a ballot box? Are they supposed to even participate in the counting? Are they supposed to even carry the ballot box and the personnel? Or they are supposed to protect men and women who are engaged in the exercise? Those are rules of engagement. So we are not privy. And when you see what is going on, you raise questions, the one you are questioning. They enter the tallying centers, and you know they are in fatigue, a military uniform, they are armed. Surely something doesn't seem to work well. And somebody in the government must clearly state the position of the men and women in boots that are on the ground. Thank you.
Thank you, Bredna Changala. Thank you for your update. Thank you very much. We are grateful.
Thank you, and good night.
Thank you very much. That's Bredna Changala giving us an update. He referred to this video because he's demanding for answers. Where is Mutotwe Kafwaya? And we had this PS, just listen to it.
Yes, we are dealing with disinformation. So where there's disinformation, we put the truth there. We have seen that the Napupu running mate, Makebi Zulu, has posted that Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya was shot by the army, 2 bullets in the chest, and is now admitted at Mainasoko. We are here at Mainasoko. I am joined by my colleagues, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs, Mr. Machembo is at the far end there. We are also joined by the owner of the facility, the PS for Defense, Mr. Amaumbi is here. So Mr. please explain to the people, explain to the Zambians. Is Honorable Kafwaya here? And was Honorable Kafwaya shot by your army?
It's a laughing matter. I think we need to be serious as a people. We need really to
the Zambians. Is Honorable Kafwaya here? And was Honorable Kafwaya shot by your army?
It's a laughing matter. I think we need to be serious as a people.
Kafwaya here? And was Honorable Kafwaya shot by your army?
It's a laughing matter. I think we need to be serious as a people.
Kafwaya shot by your army.
It's a laughing matter. I think we need to be serious as a people. We need really to move away from fabricating information. I actually can't
be calm, to be confident in the system that we have put in place. There are so many falsehoods that are being thrown around in our country in order to agitate the Zambian people, for the Zambian people to rise up or create a chaos in our country, create chaos in our country. Just today, I'm just hearing that there is a rumor going out there that President Mundubile has been arrested. There's no truth to that. And yet some people have taken it as gospel truth. President Mundubile has been arrested. There's no truth to that. And yet some people have taken it as gospel truth. The rumor going out there that President Mundubile has been arrested. There's no truth to that. And yet some people have taken it as gospel truth.
Through to Maina Soko upon it's a laughing matter. I think we need to be serious as a people.
Amaundu is here. So Mr. Amaundu, please explain to the people, explain to the Zambians. Is Honorable Kafwaya here? And was Honorable Kafwaya shot by your army?
It's a laughing matter. I think we need to be serious as a people. We need really to move away from fabricating information. I actually came through to Maina Soko upon reading on social media that Honorable Kafwaya was shot and is actually at Maina Soko. And I can confirm to members of the public that that is unfounded. We are at Maina Soko. I've checked the record. I've engaged the management here.
Your army.
It's a laughing matter. I think we need to be serious as a people. We need really to move away from fabricating information. I actually came through to Maina Soko upon reading on social media that Honorable Kafwaya was shot and is actually at Maina Soko. And I can confirm to members of the public that that is unfounded. We are at Maina Soko. I've checked the record. I've engaged the management here. At no time in the last 48 hours.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are dealing with criminals. You are dealing. Callers, let's just have this matter before you begin to call in. Please just cut the line. We will invite you to speak. You are clearly dealing with criminals. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard from various witnesses that there was a military invasion at Brian Mundubile's home. We're very lucky that as soon as he was released, under whatever circumstances, Brian Mundubile gave in graphic details what had happened to him. And he kept on fearing for the life of Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya. He kept on saying he was shot twice and they were dragging us. And Mutotwe Kafwaya was bleeding profusely. Those are the words that Brian Mundubile used. And even when they were stepping on him and beating him up, he kept on pleading that he has done nothing wrong, and he was pleading for Mutotwe Kafwaya to seek that they should accord him medical treatment. He also narrated that when they were now at the so-called command center, where they were being now interrogated, he kept on pleading for the case of Mutotwe Kafwaya. And then you see these clowns ridicule what has happened, ridicule the entire matter. See a former vice president in Dr. Nevas Mumba speak in very dismissive terms, things that have occurred. If Brian Mundubile was not attacked by the military, who are these people that were in military fatigues and were in Zambia Army land cruisers and they were in military uniform at storming an area. We have neighbors that confirmed. We have many people that were around Brian Mundubile that confirmed this attack. And the military were not just at Brian Mundubile's private home in Kudu Road. They were also at his commercial outlet on Kalumbi Road, his office in Rhodes Park, and then, where he was invaded in Kablonga. And someone can ridicule this. Someone can say these are laughing matters, people are fabricating issues. We can put it on record. We challenge government to produce Honorable Mtoto Kafwaya. That is my major call. And like Bob Nachangala was stating just a moment ago, was that you have these clowns turn up at Maina Soko. They don't confirm the military raid. These are senior permanent secretaries at Ministry of Home Affairs and Ministry of Information and Media. They don't speak to the brutality that a leading presidential candidate has just narrated to the entire country, and as the ordeal that his family has faced and that of the people around him. They do not address, it's been 24 hours, they've not addressed that matter. When there was this military invasion on Brian Mundubile's home, he came from the African Union where he had just given a statement. He had sent us he had sent me this video just after meeting the African Union, and shortly after that, this is what happened. But first, this is a statement by Brian when he just appeared at the African Union COMESA observer mission, and then what we are talking about, the military raid took place. The one that Nevers Mumba is ridiculing, the one that Thabo Kawana and P.S. Dixon Matembo are ridiculing.
Countrymen and women, we just concluded a meeting with heads of observer missions where we came to raise a number of concerns. Our first concern was this indefinite suspension of counting and tallying of ballots by the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Our second concern was the presence of the military at Mulumbushi, the presence of the military in the neighborhoods, and heavy trucks, army trucks that are patrolling the streets. Our third concern was the instruction that some ECZ officials issued, where they instructed council secretaries to withhold and withdraw Gen 20 forms, to hold Gen 20 forms and also withdraw the form that had already given out. We were also concerned about the information that we're getting.
Just today, I'm just hearing that there is a rumor going out there that President Mundubile has been arrested. There's no truth to that. And yet some people have taken it as gospel truth in order to agitate the Zambian people to be calm,
And I can confirm to members of the public that really to move away from it's a laughing matter, I think.
Kafwaya here, and was Honorable Kafwaya shot by your army?
It's a laughing matter. I think we need to be serious as a people. We need really to move away from fabricating information. I actually came through to Maina Soko upon reading on social media that Honorable Kafwaya was shot and is actually at Maina Soko, and I can...
Family, Nami Tudilomland, let's start with the first matter, the military raid. The military raid on Brian Mundubile's residence. And in the narration, and I hope you took time to watch the video, he kept on expressing concern around Mtoto Kafwaya that was shot twice and was bleeding profusely. It's been 24 hours. The family is looking for Mtoto Kafwaya. The lawyers are looking for Mtoto Kafwaya. All of us are asking these questions. He was in the hands of this brutal military invasion that occurred, and you saw how in a narration done by Brian Mundwile was done, who do you believe? Do you believe the various witness statements? Do you believe what Brian Mundwile said, or these clowns that are putting ridicule to a very serious national matter, where a former minister's life is feared, literally feared dead, where a former minister was shot at? Is it normal to shoot at a former minister? And the brutal attack on a leading presidential candidate, and they are trivializing it. Let me throw it. Let me start with Doc. Doc, you may go back to surgery quickly. So let's start with you in the event that they called you. Hello, Dr. Sampa. Oh, I didn't notice. He could have logged out. Let me ask him to log in. Are you there? Are you there?
Yes, Ambassador, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Ambassador.
Okay, please make your views.
Yes, Ambassador, I want to start with Tawo Kawana and the other PSS. To start with, you are dealing with a government of narcissists. These are people who, even if they do something wrong, they don't feel any empathy. How do we say so? Let's remember the issue of J.J. Banda. When J.J. Banda was taken by these same people, they were refusing. They kept refusing that they didn't know where J.J. Banda was, until it took the people to pressure them before they can release J.J. Banda. And that's how we knew that J.J. Banda was actually taken to Mainasoko, because when they went and whisked him away from Medlands, they still hid where he was. This is the same government that has got a president who is a non-liar, a pathological liar who lies every time. He talked about vendetta, and later it was discovered that actually vendetta, which he refused that people were lying, was true. He brought them back. Now, if this government tells you that they don't know what's happening, you need to know that they're just defending themselves. Even now, this government sent the military to Mundwile's house. People were there to take videos. It is in public domain and everybody knows, but you don't expect them to accept. So to say that the government is going to say something about it, they're not going to say anything. But Zambians are seeing things for what they are. Now, I want to come to the issue of the of Mutotwe Kafuaya and Tasila Lungu's husband. You see, the government will be that they need to release Mutotwe Kafuaya husband to Tasila Lungu, because these people have done nothing wrong for them to deserve all this kind of treatment they are getting.
They've blacked us out. Hello, Ambassador.
You can take over the conversation. I've seen PS as, I've seen Doctor has gone away. Take over the conversation as he reconnects.
Yes, briefly, Ambassador, I'll be driving out to go, do one or two things and then come back and join you. Quick one, and I will still get back to what it's appalling. Someone needs to take away the mic from Tawo. You see, it's so. At times when I looked at the three, and you could see how uncomfortable Dixon is trying to be. He's just in there because Dixon somehow has known a bit of, has worked around the public service. Kawana has nothing, no knowledge whatsoever. He is really brought shame to that position of permanent secretary. It is brought shame. Look at just the line of questioning. Like you are telling children that nanga aba kudira switch ni bana ni ushenyaba na gunyaba. When people can see what you're doing, and you feel bad about that the call for me, Ambassador, is where is the Zambian media investigating journalists? Where are they? Because they need to take people to task. Our media need to take people to task. vaipusha vaipusha timo mulera ndefe vaya mukufaya abantu uko bali vabalango kuvati apa tuachitefe away from the government machinery. We can't just be listening to the same people that are being abanutushini evarefa futi vasuke. Where are the Zambian media? When this is happening, they are right there. Varefimona. You see, you are the fourth estate by media, Zambian media. If you keep quiet and allow these things to be happening, look at, we know that Tabokawana, akali school kapitila ku left. Tapabo for English analyze. Nikadalism. Abantu people have spoken about him that he doesn't know what it takes to be permanent secretary. He has no clue. Ni autopilot. And then he's given that position. Media houses in Zambia, there's a lot of radio stations, TV stations. Follow these things up and check and ask, so that when they say this is disinformation or misinformation, you are able to provide a backup. Say, hey, yes. And how do you just allow the Electoral Commission of Zambia to run over your rights that are enshrined in the Constitution, freedom of information, freedom of expression? You are not running stories because someone has told you, oh, you can't do this. They are constitutional matters that you must exercise, and the legislative matters, mutuma subsidiary laws, and those have conflicted the Constitution. Bring out these things. Let the people know. We can't just be away from Zambia and then be bringing this information to the people, and then at times we get attacked and say, oh, you don't mean anything, you don't know nothing, you're not in Zambia. It's not right. Where is Wamtoto Kafwaya? Government of the machinery. Find Wamtoto Kafwaya. You were able to trail Munduvile and be able to act on this. Where is Tasila Lungu's husband? Where can we have independent verification from the people that are on the ground, media houses? My call is to you guys. You took us to task. I personally was taken to task. Hot FM took me to task. Innocent, Ike, you took me to task on certain things when it didn't work out. You came to my office. You invited me to the interview and it took me to task on certain things. Remember, you took me to task when one of the workers was being abused by a Chinese nation. You said, can you give us the information about this? Why are you staying away?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me bring in Doc. Doc is back. Thank you very much, Doc. Make your views, because you may have to go quickly to hospital.
Yeah, so Ambassador, what I was saying is that we are dealing with narcissists. These are people who don't have any empathy. The thing is that what they have done to Mtoto Kafwaya and what they have done to Munduvile is a sign that they can do that to anybody. Now, coming to what the PS was saying about the fourth estate, the media, it is very difficult at this point to even con the media. Because for your information, Ambassador, the reason why people are running to this page to use it as the main media and KBN, it's because the rest of the media houses have been bought by the UPND. There is no media house right now apart from Millennium, KBN, Daily Nation, yourselves, and a few others who are independent, but the rest have been bought. And also, yeah, I forgot to mention Hot FM is not bought as well. But these others, when you look at them and they are reporting, and they have been bought, others are very honest enough. I'll tell you, one person told me when I called them that I wanted to have an interview that, Doc, I really would want to give you an interview, but I'm scared because these people, they give us every month 50,000, and then if I give an interview to you, I need to feed my children. I'm not going to have the money. So I agree with you. I'm going to vote for Munduvile, but the problem is I need to continue broadcasting things the way they are. And that is a fact. So a lot of these people have been paid, and there is no need to even plead with them. They will never do anything about it. They are not going to say anything. They will just parrot what the government is doing. Now, coming to Tabo Kawana himself, you see, people shouldn't take Tabo Kawana seriously. Me, I have said this from time and again. Tabo Kawana is not only a cadre, but this is a person who doesn't even qualify to be in that position. He knows nothing about the civil service. He is there just as a cadre. So Tabo Kawana should never be taken seriously whenever he speaks. Coming to the other PSs, we do know. Who doesn't know that whatever UPND does, they all go in tandem, parroting the same thing. And the problem with these people is that even if somebody died today, even what happened to Munduvile, they will still continue defending that nothing happened. But we all know these are liars, and everybody knows that these people will continue being the way they are. The solution is removing them from power. And I want to assure the people and everyone who supports Tonse, I was calculating that getting what have been calling me, the results are showing that Munduvile is trailing. I said, look, I'll just use another example. Ambassador, in 2021, for Hakainde to win the election he won, he took 4 constituencies in Northern Province: Mpulungu, Mbala, Senga, and Kaputa. Munduvile this year has taken Mpulungu, Mbala, Senga, and we are yet to see what will happen in Kaputa. That is number 1. Number 2, you go to Eastern Province. In Eastern Province, in 2021, Hakainde had to win 3 constituencies for him to get that 40% that he had. This year, he is winning none. And when you come to Northern, to come to Lusaka and Copper Belt, Munduvile has flipped. He's gotten the entire Copper Belt, whilst Hakainde has lost. So, if you come to Lusaka again, the overall, Munduvile has won Lusaka, while Hakainde has lost. So how do you expect Hakainde to win an election by just winning 3 provinces? It is magic. It's not possible to win an election that way. People should not worry. For instance, Dundumwezi, Hakainde had 22,000. And then Munduvile had, I don't know if it's 100 or 120. Do you know that they haven't yet announced Lukasha constituency alone? Hakainde has about 3,000, while Munduvile has got 20,000. So when you subtract that, already that is almost swallowed by just that constituency. You go to Chinsali or you just go to Mpika. Again, Mpika will swallow Kalomo. You go to Chinsali, Chinsali will swallow another one from Southern Province. So when we get Northern, Muchinga, Luapula, and we add Eastern, these are going to swallow all these margins that Hakainde is having in his strongholds. But now we are going to remain with Lusaka, where Munduvile has won, Copper Belt, where Munduvile has won, and we will also remain with Central Province, where Munduvile has flipped Kapiri. So when you look at all these figures, people should not worry. This criminal organization is going, and they are trying to steal so hard. But Ambassador, I can assure you and the people that even if they try to steal, the difference is this. For them, they are able to steal like what we've seen in Kalomo. How do you have, out of the entire population, you've got 86% of the people voted. But meanwhile, when you look at the voter turnout in Southern Province and everywhere else, the maximum is 60%. It's just supposed to be 50-something to 60. That's what we are seeing in Northern, Muchinga, Luapula, including Lusaka and Copper Belt. But apparently, in Southern Province, there is a constituency where the total number was 23,000, and then the people who voted were 20,000. So are you telling me that no one died, no one left during this period, and then UPND for some reason gets almost everything, and everyone else shares the rest? Those are totally fabricated lies. You come and talk of Mumbwa. ECL in Mumbwa had a 4,000 in 2021. And if we go by that, when you look at the way Munduvile is leading, wherever ECL at 7,000, Munduvile is getting more than what ECL got. Even fairer, Munduvile got more than what ECL got. But when you go to Mumbwa, for some reason, they have reduced them to just hundreds, even less than what ECL had, which was 4,000. So all those are just fabricated votes. So when you look at the way they are trying to steal in their strongholds, the thing is, even if they steal in those 3 strongholds, it will not be enough to cover the differences. Even when just use simple logic, Ambassador, you've got somebody who has won 7 provinces. And in these 7 provinces, the margins, no matter how little they are, it's cumulative. And make no mistake, the same cumulative numbers, there are certain places where Munduvile is leading by almost 20,000, 14,000, 30,000, even Lukasha, he's leading by more than 10,000. Hakainde has got 3,000. So all these, when you put them together, they are still going to swallow what Hakainde has. What they have announced now has got more of Hakainde's strongholds than Mundubile's. And they are doing this for a purpose. They want to prepare the people for what they want to do, so that people will not be surprised in case they rig. But people should not worry about this. As long as we are able to still follow through the process and continue seeing to it that whatever is being transmitted is what is on the ground, Mundubile is going to win. This election is historic, Ambassador, because we have never experienced a brutal regime like this one. I keep saying they are brutal because, Ambassador, people know my background, that I have witnessed both sides of the coin. Under PF, I was fired. Under UPND, I was almost fired. But I had to resign. But when you look at the two, I can tell you that under UPND, if the doctors protested, right now I would have been in jail. Because this is a brutal regime which doesn't care about anyone. There is no reasoning. It's either you are with them or you are not with them. If they can shoot someone and deny, and Tabokawana shamelessly even goes to the same place, they know, we are not fools. They know that if the time that it happened, from that time up to now, they could have moved him everywhere the same way they did to JJ. And these are guys who are determined to make sure that when they mean to lie, they will lie the entire ZNBC. ZNBC is now a circus. They will use ZNBC to lie. They will use all these paid outlets, the papers and the news media, to go on and just lie to people. But Zambians know what is happening, and they have seen through this. They are not going to allow this anymore. That's why this election is an indication of what is going to happen, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. We seem to have PS that he has left us. That's a frozen picture. Doc, I'll let you go away, but I'll invite you. We'll have Dr. Sishua at 20 hours. After our interview with Dr. Sishua, I would want you, PS Chandakazia and yourself, to come and join me, and Augustine Mukoka. Then we will review what Dr. Sishua will reveal to us. So let me let the team go as we do the updates. Team, let's go to the updates that I promised that I'll give. And then I'll open the phone lines because they're normally for Kupema. But we have to prepare for our discussion at 20 hours so that we host Dr. Sishua very well. There was a military raid on Brian Mundubile's private residence. A special unit of the Zambia Army is the one that carried out these activities. What they did yesterday is a matter that in fact the Zambia Army commander can be reported to the Hague, to the International Criminal Court, over what they did to Brian Mundubile. Brian Mundubile is a civilian, is an opposition leader, is a politician. You do not set the military on private residences. The purpose of the military is defined in our constitution, and they are on the threats that they tackle. They never tackle a matter in this nature, where we have two people feared dead in the military raid that they did to Brian Mundubile's resident and his family. I can put it on record that the conduct of the Zambia Army commander in this matter is a candidate for the International Criminal Court. Just see all those that have been taken to the International Criminal Court and cases they did. It's an abuse of, for example, in this case, where is abuse in the electoral system, where he is abusing, invading electoral process. You remember what happened when President Donald Trump lost elections in 2020, and just civilians stormed Parliament. They categorized it as treason. The conduct of the Zambia Army commander we should put it on record here, is on extremely dangerous ground, setting the army in areas that the army should not be. They can be outside polling station, not in the polling station. Setting the army on a private residence of an opposition leader, and you traumatize them. No. We still can't account, especially for Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya, who was bleeding profusely at the scene when the military stormed the area and was beaten. You saw the account that was given by Brian Mundule on this show. Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya and the bodyguard Banda, we still cannot account for them. And then you saw the ridicule from Tabo Kawana and the PS of Home Affairs, Dixon Matembo. Clearly criminal conduct what they've done after such a serious matter. To date, there is no formal statement that has emerged from government, and the PS of Information and Media, who is supposed to attend to these matters, goes to ridicule both the victims and someone who is suspected. I don't want to use the term, but Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya, if when he was shot, carrying 2 bullets, bleeding profusely and being dragged. No. Government ought to tell us where Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya is. We are begging to for callers that keep on calling. On the military invasion of totaling centers and then the results we are seeing, clearly we have many results that were released. And you know what has emerged surprisingly? Is the Gen 20s that we had earlier, most of the opposition leaders were getting 0. Now they are getting some numbers. It's very clear they are preparing a certain set of people to come and give credibility to the results that they intend to give. The pattern is very clear. The earlier Gen 20s that were being released at polling stations across the country that were even used for PVT, you saw the results. And an area that had that had extreme poor turnout, like Kalomo, now is recording one of the highest voter turnout. Those results are fabricated, totally fabricated. And I'm glad that the civil society groupings spoke to the credibility of these elections that are being released by ECZ. We have copies of communication that was given to district electoral officers who are council secretaries and permanent secretaries, where they were told in the communication to withhold the presidential results and to surrender the G20. Then we have a lot of communication from the candidates who were manning these elections, or their agents, how they were chased out, the military came, or in some cases the thugs came. Let me take your course quickly, and then in detail we'll come back at 20 hours with Dr. Sishua, where we are going to deal with these matters. But I'll take a few calls for us to just re-energize, and in the next 30-40 minutes I'll be bringing in Dr. Sishua. So the calls are on. Let's get your views. Please call. I want to get a few views from you before I retire. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from, and make your contribution.
So I will remain anonymous.
Make your contribution.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all the information that you're doing. And may God bless and watch over you. You're doing a profound job for the nation of Zambia. And right now, we want to reaffirm where we're starting from. It is difficult to reconcile where we are as a nation of Zambia. I cannot believe that it has come to this. I can't reconcile my nation coming to this state of affairs. But we hold strong. We're not afraid. We have been braved through fire. Kenneth Kaunda wrote a book, Zambia Shall Be Free. Before we gained our independence, he wrote that book, and he described the atrocities that were occasioned upon our people. It is not strange that we're seeing this thing, but we hold strong. Where people Our blood is strong. He said when he was fighting for the entire region, Zambians will be born out of their blood. You can kill a single Zambian, but there will be more Zambians born out of our blood and they will fight. I'm telling this establishment, whatever entity is in control right now, because we know the instruments of power, we know how it flows, we know the OP, Office of the President, Special Branch, are supposed to be in charge. Then the Zambia Army, then the Zambia Air Force, then ZNS. We know the layers that are currently. We know who's operating. General Ziale, Oscar Nyoni, Frederick Nyambe, I'm speaking to you. It shall not stand. The will of the Zambian people shall be respected. And we need to remember what happened previously. There have been several attempts when the system went against the people. Frederick Chiluba wanted to have a third term. He did not succeed. Batata, Bashimumbulo, Bashbanj tried. He did not succeed. Rupia Banda tried. He did not succeed. Who is this uncircumcised person that will stand against the will of the Christian nation, of the sovereign Christian nation of Zambia? You will not stand. Let me be clear. The people of Zambia, in their righteous indignation, rose yesterday and voted. That vote will stand. Rosa Lomis Bomba, I beg of you, in the name of Lukani Hapula, you remember this day. You will remember this day. The people of Zambia are not to be played around with. We worship a living God. And we're not to be played around with. As much as this son from Wengwa wants to be, he cannot stand against 20 million souls crying to their God for redemption.
Tonight. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Let me just take some more calls. My brother. There are so many because I need to take a few calls just in a short period. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Thank you so much. I would love to remain anonymous.
Anonymous, make your contribution.
Yes, Ambassador, I'm very much concerned with what is happening in our country in relation to these elections. But first of all, Ambassador, I want to ask a question. Is there anything that Mr. Munduvile and his team they have done which is wrong? I ask this question because I see like everything that has happened which is not acceptable even under the laws of this country, but we've remained quiet. Even the people that are going, the delegates that are going at Mulungushi International Conference Center, they have not asked a question as to why our presidential candidate were actually raided and shot at, because that was aimed at assassinating him. We have not issued any official statement, and it all looks like we are guilty. Maybe our president did anything wrong, and people are held captive because they are not talking about it even on TV, on any TV. They are just talking about speculations going around. Have we done anything wrong that means for us to hide such a thing that has happened to us? Or are we just want to be killed like that and forget? Because we are not alarming the state, no. But the fact is that the people, I don't know whether it's sent by the president or sent by whoever, coming in the name of the soldiers, raided the president's house and aimed to actually kill him. We don't even know how Mtotokafuaya is by now. But why do we keep quiet? If at all we know that what is happening is wrong, and we don't know the life of or the safety of the other colleagues who have been held captive. Why don't we speak to the news stations? They know this is what is happening, because most of the people, apart from the few of us who follow your page, who follow your page, Ambassador, and who follow the JJ's page, they are the only people that knows what is happening in the country now. Most of the people in the country do not know anything, do not even know that our president was about to be killed yesterday. They don't know. They don't even know that currently, as we are speaking, our president is actually somewhere else hiding. They do not know. That is number one. I want to know, Ambassador. I don't know. But then secondly, I want to tell our people, the people that were in the polling stations. I think I'm beginning to understand that our colleagues may have rigged, even if we are thinking that they might not catch up with us, they might have rigged these elections from Southern Province. Did we have our agents in Southern Province who were really on each and every polling station to ensure that our G20s are inspected clearly and make sure that whatever that is reporting from Mulungushi is the correct thing? Otherwise, if we're not careful, if we lose these elections, Mr. Mwamba, can I tell you that there will be a lot of people that will go in exile, fearing for their lives. Because these elections are ours. But if we lose, there will be a lot of people that will go in exile from Zambia, because this government is not aimed at anything but to eliminate anyone that stands in their way. So my appeal, Ambassador Mwamba, is that, many Zambians are angry and very much annoyed of what is happening now. But we cannot do anything because we don't have power. We only want to ask you people that are closer to the media that can help us know, people to know what is happening in our country today. I thank you so much, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
I will remain anonymous. Ambassador, I will remain anonymous.
Yes, anonymous. Continue with your contribution.
Yeah, Ambassador, we are at a point where this country, we are at a point, Ambassador, this country has gone to the dog. Ambassador, what is happening currently now? We have a person in State House who is not going to accept the defeat. We have a person who is not going to accept that election. I'm going to give you an example where if really the UPND were on these elections, they wouldn't have stopped announcing and the counting on the result. If the UPND, the way I know them, if they won this election, they would have rushed to announce and count this election. But for the reason that they knew that they never won this election, that's why they made sure that they stopped the counting and the announcement of this result. Because they wanted to buy time so that they can play their tricks to make sure that they do whatever is possible to come up with the advantage. Ambassador Mwamba, this country, we have reached a point where this country will never be the same. If Hakainde Hichilema will continue being the president of this country will never be the same. This country has been destroyed. And whatever the results that the ECZ is giving out, those are not the true reflection of the people's wish. People voted and they spoke so loud, because where I am in the Copper Belt here, you can even see people have been talking. Before even we voted, people were talking to say, this man has to go. And the way people voted, this was a protest vote. It was a protest vote, the one that people showed the PF in 2021. Because the 2021 vote was a protest vote to the Patriotic Front. Equally, the 2026 vote was a protest vote. People voted because they never wanted this regime. But the problem that we have today is we have a leader in State House who is not going to accept defeat, who is not going to accept to leave. And when you don't accept to leave, you start killing people. And when you start killing people, you continue killing people because he has to defend his portfolio, which is very wrong. What I can assure you today is that the only hope that we have is only God who can assist us. Nothing else, because this man has made a decision. He has made a decision that he has to stay on, regardless of what he will do. And I don't know if there is any provision where the international community can assist to sort out this matter. Otherwise, without any pressure from the outside, this man is not leaving office. And he is here to stay. And he is going to torment us for a very long time. I submit.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Ambassador, good evening.
Good evening.
Alex on the line. Ambassador, I want to join many other people, Zambians, who have called that the government should tell where the whereabouts of Honorable and the two. Maybe I'm behind, but what I know is that Honorable Sanga is nobody knows where he is. Patrick Mansa, the husband to Tarsila, no up to now.
I have an update on Tarsila's husband, Patrick Mansa. The lawyers have finally found him. They found him at Lusaka Central Police Station, but we still haven't found where Bishop Trevor Mwamba is and others. Continue.
So I think for that update, Ambassador, this is a worrying situation. Ambassador, this should bother us even when Dr. Sampa said that we should not worry based on the results that are coming. For me, it is a whole thing. This is a process, because what this evil regime of HH is doing or has done is to go and scatter the leaders. Kuwapasa sana. And that's what he's doing. He's tried it that other time to destroy PF, but PF is an idea. Okay, on the paper he destroyed, and even in the during time of elections, at its peak, he goes and try to dismantle everyone.
Mr. Mutale, quickly wind up. I need to take 3-4 more calls, then take a recess for 15 minutes so that we can come back with Dr. Shua Seshua.
Okay. So my conclusion, Ambassador, is I condemn the government, even when you look at the military, what they have done. Ambassador, I want to say this, that the military just being involved in these elections, the military is giving its opponents within themselves to rise against the republic. Because if the military can be actively involved in politics today, what are those who are just sitting back and watch within the military?
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Ambassador.
Kindly quickly introduce yourself and make your contribution.
For the sake of time, I'm just going straight to the contribution, Ambassador. First, I just want to borrow what our senior man, Bled Nachangara, said. Sure, Ambassador, we have a presidential aspiring candidate who is a possible Republican president. Kwaisa Umfika information that he has been abducted by the certain military people, and now Baluba has been disappeared. After some times, uliomuntu ulefu kubakateka wachalo abwela aisa londolesyo bachimu chitanesyo apitiremo na abantu abo beketo basendere. Sure, if you have got a country which wants to progress, not even a statement from the IG, not even from the Zambia army, we just going to have those comedian 3 permanent secretary. Kwati baleba abantu ifupu wa Zambian. Kwati baleba Shenteka. PS, can you tell? Did you have shot these guys? Do you have Mutotoka Voyaye? This is a very shame. Ichiba Mwamba, it's a very shame and it's embarrassing to our country. Hello, what we are trying to so this seed of hate we are sowing, the country will never unite again. Icha number 2 Mwamba. HH had already done a script. That's why first ambilia ku Western Province no kubebo kweba tibale myuma. No mbabo na bale myuma. Waya ku Western Province bale myuma. Nga waya ku Southern Province bale myuma nga waya ku Lusaka. Uchi aba ku Lusaka bale uma abantu abo bene. Ni ba nani? And you have never asked those questions to HH. When you go and incite and trying to preach hate in those regions, we have never cautioned him. And even our chiefs, the church, and other people, they have never, who are those people who talks when you just embark on an intercede? That's one. Now, Mamo Nefia Chile, he knew that the Munduvile group Ngavaya, they have a successive in Northwestern, Western, and Southern. Hashtag blockage. Kanya, bridge, so that
Thank you, Vane. Thank you, Vane. Let me just take another call quickly. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from, and quickly make your contribution.
Ambassador Marumbe.
Endita.
John Maru. Padino Chita Shalande Kondi Ambassador. Kwena Chabula and definitely Ganomba Ambassador not supposed to be up to now. I want to be some Zambian. Kweva Dikusai Yava Brand Mundu learn which is want to limit it about if you can have elections, our results can be localized. If anything, Colombia Tukula leading, I want to start scheming. So we changes in from outside intelligence intel on the ground, especially I'm aware about of Honorable President Munduvile and the running mate. All the time about what's guiding forward because about the first time I'm the army. But there's another time the president himself, the incumbent, was saying, if anything, I'll use the army. Partly the sovereignty of the nation is at stake. Abantu tabashi bane institution bakapokora nangu paramilitary or army for elections. So if you are consider and push it, I think if we freedom to protect. Share information.
Thank you, Ramabo from Italy. Thank you very much. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and make your contribution.
Hi, Ambassador Mwamba. This is Queen Pumi.
My co-host, Marubira Muboa. Make your contributions quickly.
We're really active now for my platform, yes.
I know, my dear sister. I know. We are all speaking the same language. Well done. Yes. I know the language. I mean, I know what the work you are doing.
As well.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. But I want to mention 2 things. Zambians to feel about vigilant. If you Congo, they took time to announce the elections and Uliowa Lushide Ewale leading. And in after 2 weeks, the result flipped. Therefore, we know about. So it is quite clear that by HH Ngabadi winner, the results would have commenced by Penny Obushiku. But immediately we saw Bayunza Vachitari open, Bambo Kupenduruka, that was a red flag. So let us be vigilant. And it's a shame they are breaking our democracy in our eyes, banning ballots of the real vote that is destroying evidence in case these matters go to court. That is what they are doing. So they are destroying evidence. That's why they are burning the ballots, And, just to the family of President Munduvile, the president-elect and the president incoming VIP, Makebi, let's continue to pray for them. And I would just like to appeal to the NRPUP why they are not there at the Mundubile residence to protect President Mundubile. Like we saw in 2021, all the youths were there at HH's residence protecting him. So for me, I would like to say, why was the president only with 12 people? You know, we have to be very security conscious. I think, you know, HH, he didn't have police protection, but the youth protected him. So we should do the same. I think the youth should get up and protect our leaders, because it's not safe that our presidents, we don't even know where they are, and the youths are sleeping in the house and waiting. No. So that is what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Kumpumi.
Yes,
thank you so much, my dear sister. Thank you, and congratulations to the work you are doing. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from, and make your contribution.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Ambassador. Yeah. I don't know what the prophet ambassador Chakobati. At least we even see the observer. There's something which is looks better, but we are not sitting idle. Each refer Chakobati tuwe chapamo because apapene fe apakachiteko ka shaken. Firemoleka abantu chemoleka monotonous tachiri filifio abantu bafuyo kuba. So I don't know the plan which we can make so that at least the people see that these people, they are committed and they are together. Yeah, because even our questions, kaswende mwenda bacheshako kumulungushi na umbi mulumendo ulia now kuma observant at least bamayo bacheshako nabo now kufika pa point pako bati na pafu hapo no muntu takuleba. So sometimes it's very biased because if you are chitikaba libonse bafuire baishi bapako bati baishi bati all weakness ilifi. So chintu icho ine ndesa kama nako elo chimbi chintu chakwe bati yes ngakwinga bako na twimbishira shimbi ishe umwengesho kuchita so that aba bantu bamona ati situation ni taili bwino abantu tabekelefi because pali akakashita bale moneka kwa juko bale denjuka because bali pona ukupona 100% because umutima wakwa HH abapasa nga bapundire bapapene no kufurunga ya no kuchitashani no babali pona so besha no beshirisha ko batu bachiteshani because nga twamara abanensu ba electrical shani nya palele opona mona kono kulanda ko balanda ko efiamani not yeah they was influenced by someone. So otherwise na twikatane and then tule lansha nya chapamo pakwe bati tuchimfie chichibanda because ngachakutira vyapito oyu awe abantu besu bakachula aba muchifungwa bena chitotera na bashani amali ashale umfuika yantu aya museru kutira baba basangula fya bana kashimu chifungo. So ile tule umfango kwa tule umfuguvi you know. So the keni tueshe tumonele sofo yenga tuwa about you muntu afume pofie because ena tale fo kufumapo. Thank you, Ambassador Lesampali.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll invite our callers to take a break. Even the callers should take a break like us. Just share the message. We'll be having Dr. Sishua at 20 hours here on the program. So we'll go for a recess. Professor Kalonde is calling. Prof, I'll speak to you. I'll allow you to speak later. Let's just conclude this broadcast. Let me just conclude why we're here today. We're giving you an update on the military raid on Brian Mundubile's private residence by the clearly a matter of criminal nature, even, can take our army commander to the Hague for, setting the military on, on private citizens. And Brian Mundubile is not ordinary private citizen. He's a leader of the opposition. He is one of the two main contenders in this election. That action was extremely careless. And I'm going to ask Dr. Sishua what his views are about this. We know, arising from there, we are fearing for Honorable Mtoto Kafwaya, because in the manner he was taken, he had been shot and he was bleeding. 24 hours later, they have not produced him. Our lawyers have since found where Tasila's husband is, Patrick Mwansa. We located him at Lusaka Central Police Station. At least one of our lawyers spoke to him, so I can confirm to you that Patrick Mwansa is at Lusaka Central Police. We still can't account for Bishop Trevor Mwamba. And we are fearing for Honorable Mtoto Kafwaya and Banda, the bodyguard to the president. Then there are other two bodyguards that are also, I'll come and give you the name, that are at Lusaka Central. So we'll be beginning the program at 20 hours, and I'll ask you, all of us, just to take a brief moment. Let me arrange for us to have Dr. Sishua come at 20 hours, then we will have the discussion.
Let's get more on this now from my guest, Sishua, who's in Stellenbosch, South Africa. And he's a Zambian historian and a senior lecturer in history at Stellenbosch University. Welcome to you. So, I mean, it's an interesting development. We had the suspension, accusations of what seemed violence, possible election interference, and now the procedure has recommenced once again. What's your assessment of the situation? Do you think there might have been any election interference?
I think that the suspension of the earlier move to stop the counting is a result of some diplomatic pressure. I'm aware that there were significant attempts to get the electoral authorities to resume the counting, because the decision to stop the counting itself was controversial and fed public tension, because the electoral authorities justified that decision on grounds that there were pockets of violence in some districts. But what surprised many was that the Electoral Commission suspended the counting and announcement of results across the country when they, by their own admission, when the pockets of the reported acts of violence were limited to very specific places. So I think that decision didn't sit well with many stakeholders, because it wasn't informed by broader consultation. And in the last few minutes, that decision has been reversed following diplomatic pressure that the counting should continue. And the electoral authorities have announced that the first set of presidential election results will be announced at 10 p.m. Zambian time tonight.
As you mentioned, some question marks about the circumstances of the suspension and then the recommencing of the vote counting. And we've seen the opposition candidate, Brian Mundubile, already claiming victory before we've got the results. Given the circumstances, do you think we might see a rerun?
Everything has been straightforward. Support the fancy.
Hey, thank you for your concern. I'm worried sick. Patrick is missing. I'm getting third-party information that he was with some others and that they were abducted by men in uniform, but I'm not sure if in fact these are men in uniform or if they were just thugs. I hear that one of them has been shot and the other one killed. So worried. It's not like Patrick not to communicate for this long. He hasn't been home and the phone was just ringing. He hasn't been answering. I don't know his whereabouts. I don't know if he's okay. I just don't know anything. I'm blank. And I think at this point I can just appeal to the public. If anyone has any information about Patrick's whereabouts, to just let us know. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you for your concern. I'm worried sick. Patrick is missing. I'm getting third-party information that he was with some others and that they were abducted by men in uniform, but I'm not sure if in fact these are men in uniform or if they were just thugs. I hear that one of them has been shot and the other one killed. So worried. It's not like Patrick not to communicate for this long. He hasn't been home and the phone was just ringing. He hasn't been answering. I don't know his whereabouts. I don't know if he's okay. I just don't know anything. I'm blank.
Decided by ballots, not bullets. A Zambia where soldiers protect citizens rather than politicians. A Zambia where political opponents can disagree without becoming enemies. That is the Zambia I am fighting for. My promise to Zambia: I will not seek revenge. I will seek justice. I will not mobilize citizens against citizens. I will mobilize Zambians to defend our democracy. I will not respond to hatred with hatred. I will respond with courage. And I will not abandon my fellow Zambians. If they came for me, I will not run away from Zambia. If they wounded one of my colleagues, I will not abandon him. If they threaten our democracy, I will defend it. I will defend it peacefully, constitutionally, and with the love of a Zambian.
And I think at this point I can just appeal to the public. If anyone has any information.
We've just learned that Honorable Brian Mundubile is live. I'm trying to link that to our broadcast. Honorable Brian Mundubile is live. I'm trying to link all of us to that broadcast that Honorable Brian Mundubile is doing.
Zambia Decides 2026. Zambia Decides 2026. Zambia Decides 2026.